Welcome. And the question today from Titan Slayer 05 is, what did your friend do that accidentally turned you on? Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his llama pen, so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some drama. FBI official account answered with, I was cracking jokes with a coworker. And when she laughed at something I said, she pushed at my chest in that, oh stop it you kind of way. And oh boy, I darn near melted right then and there. She likes you. Or she's Canadian. 27JM answered with, in a hotel room on a school trip with a bunch of my friends. We were of course talking about sex and kinks and poop. And it went a little something like this. Friend, LP, do you like to be choked? Me, I wouldn't know. Friend, throws me back on the bed and chokes me. Me. K-Shep 303 answered with, was on the bus for a field trip in high school. I was a little late. The only open seat was next to my crush. I was in grade 12, she was in grade 11. It was a 6-hour round trip. And the person you sat with was your partner for the entire trip. She had a tank top and wasn't wearing a bra. It was a bit chilly on the bus. On our way back, she was cold and didn't bring a sweater. I had a long sleeve on, so I handed her my sweater. She put it on and snuggled into me and fell asleep. So cute. When we got back to town, I offered a ride home. We ended up making out in her driveway. A week later, I got my sweater back asking for a refresher of my smell. The sweater smelled just like her. I asked her on a date that day. We dated for 2 years. Love the story. It's crazy how the smallest coincidences, like who you sit next to on a bus, can kickstart something huge. She is still one of my best friends to this day. Her and my wife hang out regularly. And my kid will call her auntie. David J. S. Schloss answered with, I came back from freshman year college to visit high school, and walked into the auditorium, where an incredibly cute girl I was friends with saw me, stopped what she was doing, and literally ran up the aisle and jumped into my arms to hug me. Plot twist. Married 26 years and have a son. Holy poop, that's amazing. Space Mom 4 answered with, drive his car. I've never been into cars, or particularly into car guys. But I looked over at him since we were talking, and we were going pretty fast. And I dunno. My body wasn't ready to look at my friend driving his fast car, I guess. Another Road answered with, this one girl started tickling me. When I started tickling her back, she started to moan. And said she was sensitive there. Awkward drive home. Oh, I know that feeling. Except that in my case, my friend and I were watching a movie down in his parents' basement, back in high school. It was a little chilly and we were kinda playfully fighting over the throw blanket. It turned into a bit of a tickle fight, but I was winning because I am not ticklish except for a few extremely sensitive places. Whereas he was ticklish everywhere. He told me it wasn't fair that he couldn't tickle me since my only ticklish spots are the sides of my breasts and back of my knees. I dared him to try it, thinking he never would as he was a good Christian boy. He absolutely went for it and tickled me unmercifully for about a minute. Until it morphed into complete and total desire. He could absolutely tell the second it changed and we ended up making out. I absolutely would have F him then and there, but we never went any farther. We never had a repeat of the makeout session. But there was always a huge amount of sexual tension between us after that. And it really kind of ruined the friendship. Oh Lord. Funnily enough, I was also the good Christian boy. Except a few weeks later, we actually did end up doing it in the library where she worked. Wasn't my idea, she brought me there saying she needed help moving something after hours. Before I knew it, she was on top of me. Oh, Ceto509 answered with, Ran her nails along the skin on the inside of my forearm. I'm straight, but holy F. I mean, I was straight. Now I'm not sure. You absolutely need to reevaluate your straightness. Monkey DV1199 answered with, I had this friend that while having long phone call sessions, she used to talk to me in this seductive sounding Colombian accent. And called me bizcocho, which is cake in Spanish. Never thought being called a dessert would be hot. Or maybe I'm just weird. Golden Ring 1030 answered with, there are no accidents, Master Uguay. Mango Ong 13 answered with, a close friend from uni pulled my ponytail firmly enough to get my attention. Because I didn't hear him call me. Had to catch my breath after that. We're married now. Commercial Impressive answered with, he was driving and I was riding shotgun. He had to reverse to parallel park and turned his torso towards me, putting his arm around my seat in order to look back. He did that so confidently and effortlessly that it made me feel a little funny. You mean my good parking skills could actually be useful? Angry Banana Mama answered with, I offered him a sip of my drink, and he made intense eye contact with me as he slowly put the straw in his mouth and took a nice long sip. I found it kinda weird to be turned on so much by him sucking on a straw. Since I don't have a pecker. We've been dating for over 2 years now. Fam. A bunch of my friends have said the same thing. The idea of someone sucking their pecker, despite a lack of, is pretty effing hot. Get a strap. And tell him to get on his knees. Bouncy Energy answered with, he jumped up, grabbed a fire escape ladder, pulled himself up and climbed all the way to the top. Just oh dear. That's how I learned. I have a thing for people climbing/pulling themselves up. Neotoxic FR answered with, she dried my motorcycle seat with her sleeve while I was putting my helmet on. This is just so wholesome. Yes. I still remember it whenever I'm sad. Better mood every time. Mango is dope answered with, a colleague friend took care of my wounded knee during work. We were alone in the canteen. And he was very sweet and caring. Guess I'm not used to that. Are you me? I cut my hand at a previous job pretty good, and my coworker came. And he bandaged my hand up. And I was like, darn boy. Just being cared for like that is such a turn on. Unofficial Paul answered with, we were in some math class in high school and she was tutoring me mid-class. She was leaning over next to me as I was sat down and she had her hand on my back. She was almost whispering into my ear how to figure out this problem. Something about her voice was so soothing and arousing. It was very sensual and I still think about it often. Nothing ever happened with her. We grew apart after school. Something very similar happened at my job recently though, so it brought me back. Wicked Wix answered with, I have a voice kink. I specifically like very deep voices and certain accents. Playing D&D with my best friends can be very confusing for my cookie. M3x0R4X answered with, I told her a joke and she smiled so much. Looked at the ground then gave me a, you're so funny look. I honestly wanted to date her since then. It's been 3 years and I'm still thinking of her. Jen Rena answered with, he and I were watching a movie, when he gave me a hug. While hugging me he gently ran his hands up and down my back. He didn't mean anything sexual with it. I on the other hand have a very sensitive back. And was severely turned on by it. The next day he made fun of me for being ticklish. I then admitted to the truth about that. Needless to say he did it again later. We've been dating for over a year now. Getting close to 2. Lola Nightshade answered with, multiple things. First, in a party he danced with me and lifted me in the air. I'm not thin and not many people try this with me. Then on a trip we made with friends, his cousin made a tent using sheets and a bunk bed. We went inside to read manga on his phone. He put his arms around me so we both could see the screen. Before anyone asks, he wasn't into me back then. But now we've been together for nearly 4 years. Well, there you have it. A perfectly great question answered by a bunch of fine and honorable citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. I think he found more drama for me to share with you. See you soon.